Good afternoon. My name is George Brown, and today I will be discussing professional informed consent from Reflections Counseling in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The 3 points I'll be going over will be benefits and risks of services provided, the confidentiality limitations, and billing. And I will be comparing the Reflections Counseling Informed Consent Form to the Alabama Code of Ethics as well as the ACA Code of Ethics. Now, the first point I would like to discuss is the potential of risks and harm for services provided. Now, on the information provided on the reflection form indicates that yes, on section 10, under entitled benefits and risks, that there are no guarantees of feelings that you will experience or how and when the healing will take place. There's no guarantees that your problems will be remedied by pursuing treatment. And I won't give the doctor's name. However, it is efforts to make changes involve the experience of significant discomfort. You may experience feelings of fear, anger, depression, frustration, and the like. In efforts to improve relationships between family members, marital or romantic partners, or other persons can lead to significant discomfort or to unanticipated relationship changes. Connections with significant others may improve or be disrupted as change occurs. Now, to compare that to the Alabama Code of Ethics, under Section A3, entitled Client Rights, it states that initially throughout counselor process, the licensed professional counselors inform clients of purpose, goals, techniques, procedural limitations, potential risks, and benefits of services to be provided. Which pretty much what the ACA standard for that under section A2B, which states that counselors explicitly explain the nature of the services not limited to purpose, goals, procedures, techniques, potential harm, and benefits of service. Now, second one I'm going to talk about is the confidentiality rule. Now, under the form from the counselor's office, it states that, confidentiality is private and legally protected. However, that there are some exceptions to this confidentiality rule. They list 3 of them, but they're not limited to just these 3. Point A, if you threaten to harm yourself or someone your therapist believes threats to be serious, your therapist is obligated to take whatever action necessary to protect you or others from harm. And this may involve contacting law enforcement. B, if your therapist has believed that a child, elderly, or handicapped person is being abused or exploited, they are mandated by Alabama law to inform the appropriate agency. C, if you're involved or may be involved in future litigation of any kind and your mental state is an issue, the counselor may be mandated by the court to disclose your treatment. Now, you compare that to the Alabama Code of Ethics under Section B1. It does talk about client waivers and client exceptions in details the right to privacy. However, it also exceptions. Counselors are to disclose anytime there's a clear and imminent danger to the client and or others. If there is a contagious or fatal disease and it involves a third party, and the client has not informed that third party, the counselor may disclose that information. However, it also states that counselors are to allow sufficient time for the client to inform that third party. In other words, they have to ascertain as to whether or not that third party has been in fact informed, or that the client has no intention to inform. Now, the ACA is pretty clear on that as well. And their section B, they identify situations which confidentiality may be breached. A, foreseeable harm. B, end of life decisions where a person with terminally ill decides they want to end their life. Contagious life threat. Identify a third party. Counselor must assess the intent of clients to inform third party. Counselors must also adhere to state laws in disclosing that to the third party. D, there's also a court order disclosure. Counselors must seek a written informed consent to have it limited, to have their information limited as narrowly as possible to preserve the client counseling relationship. Now, finally, we're going to talk about the billing. The ACA talks explicitly about the billing process, that clients are to fully explain the billing. Counselors are to inform clients about the billing process and to include procedures for non-payment of fees. Reflection therapy lists a fee schedule on their forms, and with the conditions that payments are due at the time of service. They do not bill insurance. They do take checks, and they do take credit cards. However, there will be a $35 non-sufficient fund fee. Alabama Code of Ethics mandates that licensed professional counselors inform their clients about billing arrangements, including collection procedures for non-payment of fees. But they also list a contingency in I won't say contingency. There's also a point in A10 where the fees that are established based on the financial status of the client. Also, if there's a non-payment of fees prior to initiating collection procedures, they are to inform the client and allow the client the opportunity to make payments. What I found to be as a reaction, that number one, yes, it is explicitly known to the client that there's no guarantee that therapy is going to work for you. There's no guarantee that it's not going to be painless. I also like the fact that the payment plans are also very, very explicit, and that confidentiality, there are limits. Now, the question I have is, have any of these confidentiality requirements ever been waived by the courts? That is the biggest question I have. And I'm surprised that there hasn't been a mandated fee structure for fees. Thank you, and I welcome your feedback.